So welcome everyone. Today in our Mish B&B Chats for Business Brilliance podcast, we have Elizabeth Furtaw. Furtaw Consulting. She's the CEO, guru, and master of everything website development and marketing for our ends. She's amazing. She's out of Grand Haven, Michigan, so Michigander. So welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to talk about meta business. I know many of you probably have heard of meta business. Maybe some of you haven't, but that's really my first question. What is meta business?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Meta Business Suite is a free centralized dashboard that allows businesses to manage their Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp accounts all in one place. It helps with content scheduling. It helps with customer communication, analytics, and any ad management that are run on any of those platforms.
So manages all those things. So from one place, you can look at, can you design, develop, post?
You can post. Yep. So there are some other really great tools that I would recommend for designing, but the Meta Business Suite is really more for your content management.
So then as an innkeeper, how is this going to help me? So if I pursue this, how's it going to help me?
Yeah. So there's a lot of really great ways that Meta Business Suite can help someone, especially as a bed and breakfast owner. The top 4 things that I would say are the reasons to use Meta Business Suite are security and access management. So within security and access management, you can assign user roles. So let's just say you have employees of your inn and you want to hire somebody to do content management. You want to hire somebody different to moderate any live videos that you do. You can assign those roles independently within Meta Business Suite. And then if they happen to go on to another job, then you can also revoke their access as well. So the security and access management is one of the number 1 reasons to have Meta Business Suite set up properly. The second thing is efficiency in managing your content. So again, you can schedule posts in advance. You can schedule across all of the platforms all in one shot. So across Facebook, Instagram, you can post your content for the news feed. You can also post your stories from there. You can plan those ahead and have them scheduled so that they post when your customers are online. So better customer communication. You can manage all of your messages all in one spot. So many people will know that within Facebook or within Instagram, there is a messenger application. And so you'll see those messages come in and people are going back and forth between the different apps. But with Meta Business Suite, when that's set up, you can actually manage all of the comments, all of the messages across all platforms, including WhatsApp, because they are now owned by Meta as well. So any of those messages that come in, you can make sure that you can get back to your customers in a timely fashion in that way. And then, of course, analytics and insights. So your analytics, as you post content, whether it be on the news feed, whether it be in ads, whether it be in stories, you can run analytic reports that will take a look at the data and determine when your customers are most engaged with your content, what type of content they were most engaged with. And so, so security and access management, efficiency in managing content, better customer communication, and analytics and insights. Those are the top 4 reasons that you should have Meta Business Suite set up.
So I am familiar with Google Analytics, but so like Facebook, Instagram, you're looking at analytics just through them. So it goes a little more deep or precise than what you could learn from Google Analytics?
Google Analytics is a separate piece, and Google Analytics is great for tracking your website and other things like newsletters and correspondence. But with the analytics that are within Meta Business Suite, it's specific to any Meta platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, yes. So they can get a little bit more detailed about how your content on those social media platforms are performing.
So this is very fascinating. So if I do a post, let's say on what I think was a really cool breakfast, and I do a food picture, which is so typical of us, and we post it on Facebook, and I'm thinking, oh man, everyone's going to love this, and everyone's going to be clicking on it, and we get a few. Then I make a post of maybe my wife and I, or a post on a particular room, and I'm thinking, okay, well, who knows? Variety. But then I go and I can look at that Facebook, that Meta Analytics, and go, oh my goodness, that got 3 times the attention.
Right.
Now that tells me, oh, I now know what I need to post.
That's right. That's right.
Does it also tell you which posts are generating clicks to like our reservation system and stuff like that?
Yes, if you have your reservation system connected with any of the Meta platforms, then yes, it will tell you that too. So you can see what content people are looking at, when they're looking at it, and what they're clicking on. So yes.
So then if I make a post and add the booking engine website, it tracks that.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. It'll track that. So
okay. So my next question then, how do I get to it?
So it's really easy to get to as long as it's set up. That's the first and foremost important piece, is making sure Business Suite is set up properly. And that is probably for a whole other podcast. But if you know that you have Meta Business Suite set up for your page, then you just simply navigate to business.facebook.com. and it'll open in a web browser. The other way is that there is an app, although I don't find it quite as robust. I do prefer to navigate to Business Suite through a browser on a computer. But yep, so business.facebook.com will get you there.
So is that so anyone, all of our ins will have a Facebook page. Does that automatically mean they have a Meta Business?
It does not.
Page? Oh.
It does not. So long time ago, the way that it was that everybody, when they created a business page, they created it linked to someone's personal page. And although that still can be true, now Meta came up with this business suite that allows a business to take that page and put it into this suite where they can then give access in a secure way to other people to manage the page, including the business owners. So now it no longer means that you have to give personal access to all of these different people and their personal pages, if that makes sense. So now what can happen is, for instance, let's say you have a partner who is a social media, their business is social media, strictly social media. And you've hired them to generate content for you. You've hired them maybe even to manage comments and any lives or anything that's going out for your business. Now you can add them as a partner. So you don't even have to add them with their personal page. You add them as a business partner. So that person comes into your business suite. And again, you can give them whatever access roles you feel are necessary for them to do their job.
So it kind of creates a whole nother platform in parallel to your IN's Facebook page. It creates another like platform, a suite that allows control of that in Facebook, plus a bunch of other things, including the 4 that you listed previously.
Mm-hmm. I referred to it. It's a centralized dashboard, so it's more of a dashboard than an extra platform necessarily.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Wow. Cool. So how do I know if I have a meta business page?
Well, if you navigate to business.facebook.com and it doesn't come up with this dashboard, it will likely say, would you like to set one up? And so at that point, you know whether you do or you don't. If you do, then you will see on the left side of the page where you have another toolbar that gives you access to the people. It gives you access to the pages. It gives you access to the content, any ads. So you'll see that.
Wow. So do you need to be logged into your Facebook page before you navigate?
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you navigate there, it'll ask you to log in. And then when you log in, you'll see. So either way, either direction.
Yes. So you'll find out.
Yep, you will. You will as soon as you're there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And I know that another question that you had as we were talking before, and many others have, is about ads. So, should you boost a post? Should I run an ad? What's the difference between the two, right?
Yes.
So maybe we could just spend a little bit of time even
let's do it
about that. Okay. So the difference between the two, boosting a post is, let's say you have already put a post out there about the wonderful food that you're going to be having for breakfast when your guests arrive this weekend. And you know that you have a few rooms still available for the weekend. So you'd like to fill those rooms. You might take that post, and then it's called boosting it. So essentially you would take that post and it would become kind of an ad. And so by boosting it, it just gets into more people's news feeds. The difference between boosting a post then and running an ad is, with an ad, you actually create a specific post to run as an ad. And between the two, one of the benefits of running an ad versus boosting a post is that when you run an ad, you can actually target whose feeds you want that post to go to. So if you know that most of the people who visit in your area are between the ages of 45 and 60 and up, right? Then you want to say that. Do you know, based on your marketing, that the majority of people booking in your bed and breakfast are women? then you may want to target it more to women. Do you know something else about the geographic location, right? That maybe there's something else that's going on at that time or in the area. You may want to target it there. So you can get really niched down when you're actually forming an ad to post. And each one of them, you can say that you want to spend X amount of dollars per day. And then Meta will say, okay, if you say you want to spend $500 this month, it will cap it at that 500, and it'll tell you how many people, based on that targeting that you've put in, how many people your ad will reach for that dollar amount and in this time frame. So that's kind of the difference. Where boosting a post, you can just say, okay, I just want to quick boost this. I'm hoping that it'll get into more of my followers' news feeds, because we all know that sometimes we don't see everybody's posts that we follow. So hopefully it'll get into more of those followers' news feeds.
So boosting is kind of limited to followers.
It's not necessarily limited to followers. The algorithms will still push it out. But the way the algorithms work is that it'll first start with your followers, and then if your followers kind of engage, then it'll send it out to the next group, which would be a geographic location, and then maybe the next one. So that's with boosting, because with a boosted post, you can't target your audience. So it's strictly based on the algorithm, no different than any regular post. You're just giving it that boost, right? So, yeah, where an ad is different. An ad is very specific that you're creating, and you're creating a target audience, a duration, an ad dollar amount limit.
So in your experience, are those advertising dollars well spent?
They can be. They definitely can be. Especially if you have a special event going on. Maybe you're collaborating with another business in your area, and you have this big event going on, and you want to make sure that people are coming. If you have a season where you know that the month of February is always slow in your inn, and you want to make sure that your rooms are filled, then yes, it would be beneficial to do an ad to bring in traffic to your event or to that month. But typically, for smaller businesses, if you feel like your rooms are pretty full, things are running pretty smoothly, you don't have any really big events coming up, then there are other ways of being strategic about your marketing without using boosted posts or advertising. So it's kind of depends on what you have going on.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a significant difference between Facebook and Instagram?
There is a significant difference. There is a pretty significant difference as far as what they are and how they operate. Instagram is specifically for photos and videos, where Facebook, you don't have to have a photo or video to go.
So there's different demographics that are on both those platforms.
Yes, and there definitely are different audiences that are on those platforms, and that's one of the things that the analytics can show you as well. So you can take a look and you can see what those demographics are. So then you could reasonably create different posts for each platform.
And you can do all that through Meta Business, because you have one platform, one suite to handle both.
You got it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Fascinating.
Mhm.
Well, I want to thank you. That's going to be it for today. But I want to thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing your great mind with all of us. So if any of our innkeepers would like to get in touch with you, how could they do that?
They can go to my website. It's pretty easy. It's just furtawconsulting.com, and that's FURTAW consulting.com. And there's some great resources on my website, and also ample ways to connect in that way. Or if you want to just give me a call, you can do that too. And that's 616-843-5068.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It
All
was fun
right.
talking about it. All
Thank you.
right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.